Hey guys, so today I am to explain the critical analysis of Stephen Spencer's The Express, or what summary and post introduction I have already explained in my previous video. So if you have not watched it till now, I will definitely advise you to watch it before watching this video. So let's get started with the critical analysis of this poem. The poem The Express is written in the praise of express train by Stephen Spencer and has been first published in 1939 in Spencer's volume of verse entitled as The Still Center, and is a celebration of the technological achievements of the time. Here, Spencer has highlighted the industrial and technological progress of modern age. The form of the poem: Spencer's The Express is a semi-meter free verse poem of 27 lines with the presence of iambs in lines that can be scanned according to pentameter, as in these lines. She passes the houses which humbly crowd outside. Line 5th it is. Where speed throws up strange shapes, broad curves. Line 9th. Let's discuss a brief summary of the poem. The poem actually begins with the declaration of the Express as an arriving queen. The Express makes its assertion in the form of its loud whistle and puffs of black smoke venting out its chimney. Then, with an aristocratic majesty of queen, it moves slowly, in an imperious and stately motion. The houses surrounding the railway track seems to be making way for the express passage, just like people do before a queen is to proceed. They stand humbly and the queen crosses without even noticing their great reverence. Eventually, the poet feels that the express, in its intoxication and speed, moves much ahead the units of horizon and reaches the last threshold of the world. She rises to the space of stars and becomes a part of this universe where there is no brightness but faint light of phosphorus, stars and planets, both near and far off. So, now there is a difference in the poem because it is a modern romantic poem. The Yonner is a modern romantic poem. The Express is here being glorified as a machine, as something grand rather than nature, as did traditional romantics, Wordsworth in his Daffodils, Shelley in his The Cloud and Ode to West Wind, John Keats in his Ode to Nightingale and Ode to Autumn, and many more. Here, Spencer, like Auden, is breaking the traditional form of romantic poetry, as did Auden in his, if you have learned the poem, In Memory of W.B. Yeats, in which Auden altered the form of a traditional elegy and, in spite of mourning the death of W.B. Yeats, used this form to talk about the greater issues and about the place of poetry in the flood of events which constitute human history. So the death of Yeats remains at the focus of the poem only to support the peripheral reflection in the poem. Similarly here, Spencer, being a modern post-war poet, used the form of romantic poetry to find a new wild happiness from amidst the machines, gasworks and pistons. The poem is an answer to the degenerating world of the 20th century with hardly anything to speak or think romantically. With the steaming express train, the poet drives home the message that the new age romanticism will not wither away. He is trying to say that the beauty of the world of machines excels the beauty of nature. In the line 13 to 18, there is a reference to the proof of this line. The song of her whistle screaming at curves and always light aerial underneath goes the elate meter of her wheels. She plunges new eras of wild happiness. The rhythmic movement of poem indicates the majestic journey of the train. The landscape do not consist mountains and flowers, rather is a metal landscape, and during the night there is a streamlined brightness, not of the moon but of phosphorus, and there the express looks like a comet. There is no sign of bird singing, rather the express whistle is like a song to the poet. The glorification of the train reaches its extent to summit when the poet says that no natural sound, not even the song of a bird, can equal this music of the train. He says, wrapped in her music, no bird sing, no nor bow, breaking with honey bird shall ever equal. Thus the poem offers a sharp contrast to the traditional poems. The theme of the poem is basically to glorify the mechanical revolution that begins with the herald of the 20th century. It is to celebrate the might and prowess of the locomotive express train And the theme is to celebrate the might and prowess of the train, which transgressing the limits of a physical world reaches to the heart of the dead and elevates to purity of heaven. There is no phenomena, real or imaginable, that this mysterious creature has left untouched. With its extraordinary power, beauty, and song, it even bewilders nature, and the poet believes that nature has nothing more beautiful to challenge the beauty of an express train. The express train stands for all machines, and the speed of the train represents the speed of the technological progress and symbolizes the industrial revolution by using various technical words such as manifesto, black statement of pistols, gasworks, tunnels, brakes, innumerable bolts, elate meter of her wheels, metal landscape, steel of guns, phosphorus. The theme is totally in contrast with the themes of Eliot, The Wasteland, Auden's The Shield of Achilles, and Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, in which these poets has talked about the miseries of modern man due to industrial revolution, totalitarianism, and wars with poison gas and machine guns, which these poets has criticized. But Stephen Spender has totally neglected this and has shown the positive side of it and has glorified it like a queen without bowing and restrained unconcerned. The theme is illustrated in the closing lines 25th, 26th, and 27th. Oh, like a comet through flames, she moves in trance. Wrapped in a music no bird sang, breaking with honey bird shall ever equal. The poem is literally a living poem in motion because it employs various literary devices of alliteration, blank words, and concrete images covering power and glory, death, and metaphysical transcend, and highlights the theme very well. And this is a part of its diction. The words are very simple and very easy to understand, but still, the form of literary devices which it has used has enriched the poetry. The poet uses personification through the repetition of she and her. The poet glorifies the train through the device of hyperbole. At first, the whistle that announces the departure of the train is described as a manifesto. The movement of the train is like the majestic movement of a queen. Simile, which is moving without bowing and which restrain unconcerned and is crossing all limits of horizon during her journey as in lines beyond the crest of the world. Again hyperbole there is. Then again, to make the express as iconic, its speeding through the open country is metaphorically being compared to luminous self-possession of ships on ocean as she acquires mystery. Again, to ensure her superiority, her sound of whistle is being metaphorically compared with song of a bird in line 26 and 27. He says, wrapped in a music no bird sing shall ever equal, where the speaker feels the sound of whistle is more melodious. The poet many times employs simile and compares the parallel train ties to bullet trajectories and parallel clean like the steel of guns as in line 20th and extensively as in line 25th are like a comet, when he compares her streamlined brightness of phosphorus with a comet. The speaker presents a very fascinating imagery of express train singing as a human. She enters the open country and says, "It is now she begins to sing, at first quite low, then loud, and at last with a jazzy madness. The song of a whistle screaming at curves of deafening tunnels goes the elate meter of her wheels. Streaming through metal landscape on her line, she plunges new era of wild happiness." These are the line 11th to 18th. In these lines, actually, the train seems surely being transformed into a human being, who, leaving the town, humbly crowd outside and entering open country, where she gathers speed and acquires mystery and begins to sing as if she also is enjoying the peacefulness of countryside life, and with her jazzy music, she plunges into her wild happiness. Thus, through this imagery, the speaker truly personifies her as a queen or a human being enjoying her journey beyond the crest of the world. Spender employs metaphor in comparison of the metal landscape to the railway tracks and also metaphorically compares the whistle sound with the song she begins to sing. Then Spender dramatizes the distance the express travels by defining the brightness of the light at far reaches of the world by the word she reaches night. Brightness so far removed that it's part of night. The express train thus becomes the symbol of majesty, grandeur, which comes due to modern industrial revolution. The express train stands for all machines, and the speed of the train gathering speed represents the speed of technological progress. Spender points out to the vitality of the express locomotive by juxtaposing the mystery of its gathering speed in the opening country with the still depth of the symmetry, there is a paradox also, because the speaker, being a modern industrialized man, is known to the humbly crowd outside full of buildings and apartments, but is totally unknown to natural landscapes, and thus the express entrance into open country is mysterious for him. The poem, therefore, is a personal meditative poem starting from the plane of reality and ascending to the realms of metaphysical. The poem is a beautiful piece of imagination in which the poet has not only skillfully captured the structure, motion, and sound of an express train, but has artistically converted into a spirited, majestic, and strange creature possessing the grandeur of a queen. In his exaggeration of this express, he has also hinted upon the fatal effects of Second World War in these lines, as in the heavy page of death printed by gravestones in the cemetery, and also at the dark side of industrialization in the way that how leaving the crowd of town's life, how the express as a human becomes so enthusiastic when she enters open country, as if she also wants peace, as has been the temper of 20th century. She sings in that peace and screams in jazzy madness and seems happy. Hence, the poet looks at the express in dynamic ways, including all the moods and ways of 20th century. Thus is regarded a very innovative and great work of Stephen Spender. So this is all about the critical analysis, and if you understood this poem very well, so do like this video and subscribe to my channel for latest updates. Thank you guys for watching this video.